I'll go ahead and get that. I got my water situation sorted. We can continue. Since it
All right,
seems
all
like
right.
that's the will of the chat, and who am I to deny them their glorious reassembly battles? Next up, we have Black Arrow. So, Owl, if you're in the audience tonight, you've been having a really good night so far. You're going up against Sar. Which, do I have that imported? I do not. Let's fix that. By MGW, we are going against Drom, which has been doing very well. Uh, we are going up against Stiletto and Plague of the Gods. Which Stiletto is your ship, Joyous. I think this is
Stiletto
the
is my ship,
second.
and I had no point defense because I ran out of points. Because I forgot this was a 40p KP tournament and not an 80 KP tournament.
You didn't
So
say.
those little, yeah, I mean, I got some Tempest set to point defense, and those little guys, little globules in the back, those are point defense. But nothing for torpedoes, unfortunately. So we'll see how that goes.
Oh boy. We will see how that goes. Alright, let's start her up and see Owls versus MGW. To start us off, we
Yep,
immediately have a
the little
torpedo
balls,
salvo.
they're point defense. Anyway, MGW with his odd thrust arrangement, he goes off to the side. I think it was meant to be like a scooping motion, but it just makes it go sideways, off target. Um, yeah, this is going to be a classic kiter match. People kite around the arena for a bajillion years. This time though, there are these landmines everywhere. So if Black Arrow just kind of touches one, it might be bad.
Does look like Black Arrow is actually doing a pretty good job of staying out of the mines and only crossing when it has enough PD to make it. But it does look like the AI is being completely thrown off by those missiles and drones. And it's unable to get a good shot off on MGW. There have been a
Yep.
couple glancing blows, but nothing substantial. Ooh,
Ooh. Rebound? Ooh.
still no permanent damage, but oh, that's a
MGW,
lot
10
of
million health
missiles.
doesn't mean if it's stacked. This is splash damage we're talking about. You really only have 10 divided by 40 is 250,000 HP. You will never win.
True. The odds may be insurmountable, but torpedoes will help. Unfortunately, it looks like this is going to go to points. Ah, and Black Arrow takes it on points for round one. Round two, we'll see. MGW has a very beautiful mine cloud going. I
Yeah, I like those
think,
little kind of expanding balls. That is really nice.
yeah, it's very well designed too from a kind of meta standpoint. Ooh, half of SAR got shaved off there. The cosmetic part still, but there are a lot more hits getting pulled off by owl feathers this match.
Oh yeah. Don't know. Don't know what's gonna happen here.
Looks like there are secondary explosions happening inside of the hull there that brought it down a significant amount of points. Those might have just been mines popping because their timer ran out. Ooh, those mines are
Uh-oh, that's a
hitting the
minefield right there.
shields there.
Minefield. I
Just a
like
few.
how Black Arrow just kind of shot a little bit of torpedoes into the minefield, just
Yeah,
because he doesn't have any point defense.
pretty
I really like
much.
when ships do that, use their main weapons to shoot down missiles.
It's very funny. It does look like there's another deadly fan of mines coming, but there is point defense on MGW ship a significant amount. So long as the torpedoes aren't clumped together like that, the point defense can take it. It was able to destroy that salvo. Several torpedo salvos are being fired at MGW, who's kind of sitting still as a target. Mines are nowhere to be seen, and Owl Feathers takes it once again on points, just by scratch damaging the SAR to death.
Hey, you only need one torpedo if they can't hit you, am I right?
Yeah, you only need one torpedo.
I have noticed that torpedo ships that have low mobility usually stay on target a lot better. Like if you think of Exderp's
Mm.
carriers of the west and east and south and north, those guys are pretty slow, like laterally. They have a fast backwards movement speed, but they are just like not agile enough to like just miss. I suppose is what I'm looking for. Like they just can't miss because they're not agile enough to like get their aim off. And so torpedo ship is like Black Arrow with a bunch of proning thrusts and like strange thrust arrangements that makes them dodge it. Like they just can't get their torpedoes on target.
Even still, I'd say Black Arrow does a pretty good job of fanning its torpedoes in ways that are able to just hit, and it remains dodgy enough as an owl design that it's able to evade incoming fire, like from these drones, which I think we've seen this matchup
Right.
once before.
We have seen this matchup. It's not gonna look good for Exterp.
Yeah, just because, again, all it takes is one torpedo. All it takes. And it seems like that torpedo's already hit for Exterp in this case, unfortunately. Owl Feathers so far has chosen a pretty solid lineup. I like how Owl Feathers kind of does these little attack runs where it charges and shoots its torpedoes. That's fun.
I wonder if that's intentional or is it just emergent behavior due to the drones here.
Yeah, it definitely seems like the drones are messing with Black Arrow's AI, but not as much. This omnidirectional thruster style seems to be serving the ship very well.
Exterp says a skill issue in the chat, by the way.
Skill issue. For who? Where is the skill issue?
Well, I'm paraphrasing, of course, but I mean. Oop, there's that one torpedo that hits drum
Ah, I
and down
see.
point.
Looks like just one little shot is enough to knock Drom down in that points lead, but it does seem like it's actually charging a little bit. No, it's trying to stay at a fixed distance. That might explain Drom's erratic behavior, is it tries to stay at a relatively far-ish fixed distance. No, it doesn't, because sometimes Drom just rushes ships. So far, we've got about 40 seconds left.
3,000 points. I think
This is a
just
comfortable win.
smashing, yeah, just one little bit of hull damage. And Owl Feather loses this, but you know what? Doing a pretty good job of dodging so far. Just
Yeah, it's dodged 5 rounds before. What's 20 seconds of the last round?
that's right.
I'd like to take this moment to point out that a campaign ship is doing very, very well in this tournament. Like, it's not dying, it's just it's up against a kiter and a very dodgy one.
Yeah, well, nothing you can do, and All Feathers did choose his matchup, so I'm assuming the years of tournament experience would kind of let him be able to understand how a match would go.
Alright, and Owl Feathers takes it. Now it's up against you, Joyous. You think you can beat the kiter? Oof.
My thrust arrangement is really wacky, so you know what? I'm not too confident here.
Yeah, but you're also now an
Oh,
unintentional spinner.
yeah. That's what I meant by very wacky. The thrust arrangement, not too great here.
Oof.
Ooh, that's
Ah, that
always nice to see your ship become a blade, blah,
Beyblade.
blah, 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 blah.
Let her rip,
Doobly,
man.
blah, blah.
I don't know. I think I think Stiletto is a fun design, and yeah, it does kind of look like a sword. And so far it's
Uh-oh.
faring a lot better.
Yeah, it's not spinning.
That's
That
an
is an
improvement.
improvement for sure.
Lots of Tempest, very deadly.
But yeah, I did not put enough thought into the thruster arrangement because there's only two thruster banks, and if one of them gets hit, then it starts to spin,
Then it's spinner
unfortunately, which is
time.
what has happened right now.
Honestly, I think that can be a strength just because of the stick design that you chose. Like it tends to evade shots because they're aimed towards the core of the ship, like that, and it just it kind of moves just a little bit to get just out of the way.
True enough. This side moving crab walking is not intended. Uh, but yeah, there's only a single point of failure on those thrusters, and then it's a basically instant game over here.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah,
Oof.
Owl, stop touching my
Those
balls. Come on, man.
those those torpedoes are vicious against this ship. Uh,
Ooh.
it's cored. Is
See
it
that
cored?
ball
No.
in the middle there? That's generators right there. Ooh, big explosion, big generator explosion. I don't know how Stiletto's still hanging in there. I guess ever since those generators don't chain react anymore, it's kind of safe.
And just for those of us at home, that was not a kill somehow.
Very wacky.
That last torpedo just barely flew off into the distance. It should have been a kill, but it was not. So that's just a win for Owl Feathers.
Well, well, well.
Wacky thruster arrangement is apparently good. Now this is going
Maybe
to be
so, maybe
interesting.
so.
Lots and lots of missiles.
Lost the point defense as well, but it looks like those scatter guns are doing absolutely nothing.
Uh, well, their DPS is spread out considerably. Oof. These torpedo shots are really bad for Daz, but if any of these HM1s can hit once the shields are down, which I think the Sparrows will do an excellent job of handling, I don't think this will be very good for Owl Feathers. But that's a big if, because it does look like Owl Feathers is a pretty speedy ship. So far, no more
Yeah.
torpedoes are being launched. The AI is trying to lead its target and isn't quite able to do it. 50 seconds on the clock.
Looks like another game of Ring Around the Rosie, folks. Nothing to see here.
Unfortunately, that does seem to be the case, and Owl Feathers is ahead on points. So it looks like this filthy kiter is gonna sneak itself a win. Although that's
Well, I
good
mean, they
news
got
to
a few
anyone who's been
volleys
able
straight
to.
into the hole of Daz, but not quite sneaky. Just doing the bare minimum of what's necessary.
Yeah, Owl Feather's Black Arrow is it's the kind of ship that like tears half your hull off and then kind of calls it a day. It's like, all right, I win. We don't need to keep doing this for 10 seconds. I'm just gonna shoot my antimatter cannon out of pure joy.
It's a gun thruster.
It's a
It's
gun
using the recoil
thruster.
to go just a little faster.
True.
It is absolutely essential. If he didn't have that gun, he would not go fast enough to outrun
It's
Daz.
it's masquerading as a pogo stick tinkerel. Canon
Oh,
event.
oh. All right, next. Again, big torpedo hits. And ooh, don't go into there, Owl.
Um, yeah. Oof. Owl's still doing all right because of that shield.
But it looks like this match is going to go the same way as the last one. We have
Yep.
settled into the ring around the rosy pattern, and there's nothing left to do but watch.
Uh, yeah, it does look like Owl Feathers is just faster than Plague of the Gods, which is really unfortunate because Plague of the Gods needs those points. So far,
Yeah,
it
the
looks
thing
like.
about
Go ahead.
projectile and gun point defense as opposed to lasers is usually the missiles have had enough time to kind of just build up enough acceleration to be much faster than any projectile weapon. So it ends up the missiles just hit the ship before the point defense leaves the outer edges of the hole, and it's just like not a lot you can do. Not unless your point defense is either high saturation like a blast pulsar, or just like really long range, or instant velocity like a laser.
Yeah, and while Daz does have lasers for point defense, they just don't have quite enough.
That's right.
So it looks like this is once again going to go to Owl Feathers on points. And that is going to be just about it. I like how Daz's ship, whenever it dies, the core dies, just half of the entire center bit explodes.
Yeah,
This
I,
makes
I
me
like it.
happy.
Just his heart explodes and leaves behind a beautiful body.
Yeah. Nah, kill ships and leave a good-looking corpse. That's
Oh
that's
yeah.
the highest form of honor a reassembly goer can possibly have.
Well, I don't know because that means you did not take any damage during battle and are
Okay,
considered a
okay, that's fair.
coward.
Battle scars are stylish though. They count towards good-looking corpse. Next up we have Sar. And looks like we have my ship at the top. That's terrifying. Bill, which Bill's over here. We have Mini Munin and Stiletto. Now, where is Mini Munin and Stiletto? All right, your ship's up again, Joyous. You feeling confident?
Ooh, well, I don't know. If MGW built like a regular person, I think I could win this. But MGW builds weird. He's got some weird chip arrangements. It's the Leto really likes to go straight in, not through the side here.
Well, so
All right,
far,
all right. Ooh, don't do that. Oh,
what is Noyat doing? All right, all right.
ooh,
Oh,
yikes.
that's scary. This is very scary. Oh,
Does
but not
MGW have
quite.
enough point defense? Ooh, what is he doing? Uh-oh, that's MGW's signature weird chip arrangement that makes chips do weird things. You know what?
But so far, I have
He's gonna
not
bounce through
died
some
to it
minefields here.
throwing a lot of shards across the arena. Looks like my drones are somewhat distracted by the drones, but I'm chasing. Ooh, that's a bad idea. And now my AI triggers popped again, sending lots
Ow.
of drones that don't last very long against MGW. 50 seconds left, and so far it looks like I'm probably going to lose this first match.
Yeah, 8,000 point lead by MGW just from those mortar shots of your ship just running straight in there.
Ah, that's what it does best. I think it's fun. I think it's a fun kiter, you know? It does look like there
Oh,
are
for
some
sure. Oh, for
drones
sure.
near that back area. AI trigger popped again and lots of damage. I'm not coming back from that unless I get a kill, which
Oh,
I don't think is happening in 21 seconds.
yeah, just the minefields on the periphery of the battlefield is really harmful to kiters.
Yeah, kiters that are too fast for their own good. However, it does look like MGW's ship is getting away from the arena border, but doesn't matter. MGW takes round 1 on points.
MGW, I'm only like 3 seconds behind. Come on, man. Come on.
Whew, an immediate pop of the AI trigger.
Oof.
And it does look like there are some drones that were able to get some shots off on MGW, but it's not enough to make much of a difference.
I don't know, unless you can kind of hit MGW from the exact right angle where you can just kind of
It
get to
seems
his core.
it seems like MGW is weak in the rear in terms of point defense. So if my drones are able to get there, they might do some serious damage. So far, though,
Uh,
MGW has proven quite capable of dealing with all of my drones, and notably, the back is where the mines are, which mines act as pretty good point defense. But slowly but surely, the drones are seemingly making a little progress. However, my ship is once again charging back in right through the minefield, only to get its AI trigger popped. It leaves, but there's only
hit
more
some more mines, of
minefield.
course. Oh, man.
My ship's charging in.
Yeah, MGW. Ooh, oh, look out for those mortars.
Look out for those mines. There goes the AI trigger once again. Looks like MGW is going to win once again, but only on points, as my ship just refuses to die, even though it by all rights should at this point. Yep. And that's that. MGW takes it on points.
Whoa.
Now we see MGW versus Bill. Will Debris' child make up for its previous sins? So far, at least, MGW is doing this interesting kind of circle pattern. And Bill is successfully able to get some shots off. It's cutting armor. Bill isn't going fast enough to outpace its blast pulsers. And it's successfully hitting MGW from that very weak exposed rear. It looks like it's got enough weapons fire that the mines don't matter. MGW is trying to switch around, kind of evade Bill. Bill running through the minefield and emerging mostly unscathed. It is smoking. It can't do that too many more times. Looks like Bill's coming in for
Anyone's
another
battle
sweep
here.
towards the rear. It's going.
All MGW needs. Ooh. All MGW needs is one good mortar hit, and he can maybe win this. But
But if he keeps facing the rear
Debris.
like this, Debris is very much at the advantage.
Yeah, Bill is much more consistent than MGW here because MGW can't hit fast ships with a mortar when Bill can hit the slow ship with his mortar. Not to
Yep.
mention all the plasma things.
It's interesting how MGW's ship every now and then turns and is able to throw Bill off. It's a great strategy, but it looks like Bill just has a little too much point defense for MGW's mines to handle. Oh, but those mines are starting to do work. It's starting to outpace.
Uh-oh.
Will
Uh-oh.
it be enough?
Uh-oh.
Bill's actually down in the points lead.
Yeah, you can't keep eating those mines, Bill. You gotta...
Ah,
Oh, 2
and
seconds left.
MGW
MGW
takes it on
barely.
points.
Well, this could go either way. That was only a difference of around 1,000 points here.
All right. Moving into round 2. Bill charging the minefield and going for its signature strat of fighting MGW's rear. So far, so
Or as the
good.
kids say, shooting him in the butt.
Yeah! Significant damage has been done to that armor, but most of the points are concentrated elsewhere. Bill's fighting the front, which has a proton sword. That's dangerous, Bill.
Oh, Bill, get out of there.
36
And
for
just like that, the points are evened up.
that they are. Bill needs to get some good components in order to get those juicy points. So far, Bill is being a good ship and is managing to hit that rear side of MGW. MGW turning. Both ships are at 34 K points now. Bill's just barely in the lead.
Bill's gonna have to fly through this minefield to get any more points.
It doesn't need it. All it needs to do is just hold on to the points it has, but it doesn't. 30 seconds. Now it needs to get some serious damage off in order to successfully win this match. 20 seconds.
Ooh.
It might go
I think
on points.
Bill's treading the same ground here. He's not getting any new points. Whereas Bill, he's twirling around, letting MGW hit every angle of him.
And with 2 seconds left, it looks grim for Bill. MGW wins on points once again. MGW did a great job in ship design of keeping all of his components stacked very close to each other. That's a great method of points denial, so long as those components don't get hit.
Classic debris throw, just by 1,000 points. He wants to make
Yeah.
the match interesting. It's in
Yeah.
his co-host blood.
It is. It really is. Next up, we have MGW versus Mini Munin, and Mini Munin does not have any point defense, so to speak of. Excuse me. But Mini Munin does have Gauss.
Ooh, don't do that, Munin.
Ooh, the mines
The chip
dealing
damage to the mines, though.
large amounts of work. Almost
Ooh,
completely
ouch,
destroyed.
Ouch, ooh, ouch, ouch! Oh, and the border too. No, Munin.
Munin.
Well,
Munin
it was good to
completely
know ya.
devastated. Moving on to our next match after MGW's first kill so far. Not first kill in the entire tournament, but first kill in a little while. Lots of points wins
I
recently.
think it was. I mean, there's no kills on the sheets here, so maybe you guys forgot to mark something down here.
I'm gonna go and make sure because this is the second time that I've seen maybe something was forgot to be marked down, but I'm gonna go ahead and kind of review the sheet and follow along with the vid to see what happened. All right, it looks like, oof, just slaughtered.
Oh, good hit,
Very
good
quick
hit.
kill. And that leaves you, little old you, Joyous.
All right, I will avenge you. Oh, that's
you're
not good.
you're able to go through the
Oh,
minefield
oh.
somewhat unscathed so far. Let's see how this goes.
Oh boy.
Oh, we've got some mine hits. But the Tempests are online.
Ouch.
You're going. You're going.
Ouch.
Oh, that's a huge amount of
Oh,
damage.
go, shoot
Oh, there's so much stacked armor in the way. But none of the other weapons are able to hit. Oh, the Proton Sword missed. MGW is down a huge amount of points. Joyous, you haven't got a lot of point retention either, but so far the minefield has you've evaded it, and you've even disabled it. There are no more mines.
Oh boy, and now I'm a little faster, a little more maneuverable.
Maneuverable is the word of the
MGW, I'm
game
gonna
at this
get
point.
you.
If you can outmaneuver MGW, this is over. But MGW has that Proton
MGW, if I
Sword.
win,
You better not.
MGW. Oh my goodness. MGW, if I win, I'll host your tournament for you. You better make sure you lose.
He's doing it. Oh, the mines are almost completely regrown. MGW ahead by 1,000 points with 30 seconds left. Huge amount of damage. The laser cutting. MGW came out on top. That was mostly armor hits. But that core is within tasting range for your ship, Joyous. You can get it.
Oh man. If only Stiletto was just a little bit more maneuverable.
If
If
only.
only.
It doesn't look like Stiletto's going to be able to do this. It looks like it's throwing, going to the other side of the arena, allowing MGW to regenerate that thick armor. And that's it. That is it for round 1, but victory is within reach, Joyous.
It is. It certainly is.
MGW won on points, not a kill. Ooh, few mine hits taking out some of Joyous's thin outside armor, hitting those inner Tempests. Two not very maneuverable ships facing each other. The Tempests are online, and it's over. Stiletto instantly cored.
Oh, let's go.
MGW ship.
Refresh it.
Bloody and quick. Just the way we like our matches here. Moving on to the third and final round. Who will take it? Joyous, you will get an immense amount of points of glory if you are able to pull this off. Because MGW's ship so far has proven itself quite a worthy adversary. Oh, and the mines. The mines.
Oh no, MGW, I'll never host your tournament.
And that is 4 wins for MGW. A significant score, not a lot of kills, but it was able to be very consistent in the way that it won. Moving on from SAR, we now go to your ship, Joyous, Stiletto. Stiletto will be facing Hopeless Inspiration, which has quite a few projectiles.
We'll see how it goes.
SAR again, the rematch. We're here for it. Cromular and Drom. Oh boy, this is going to be quite the matchup, Joyous. Are you excited?
Let's see how we do against missiles with barely any point defense. We've got some lasers in the back, but that's about it.
Honestly, I'm more worried about those torpedoes.
Ouch. 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 Oh, my cooch.
You're able to take oof. You're not able to get rid of those torpedoes in time. First wins goes to Mons. Second match. You've got another shot. But you have to be able to catch up and kill. Looks like a significant amount of your laser point defense has already been taken out. You're coming in at an angle
only
again.
one
That's
ball left.
bad for those torpedoes. You're spinning.
Oh.
It looks like you don't have quite enough forward excel. And that's death.
That's what we call shaking a stick at a kiter.
True. Let's see you rematch MGW. This could be terrifying. Oh, oh! But the proton
Ooh,
sword.
mortar, A.
See what happens in round two. Coming in at a slightly different angle. Wasn't able to get off that mortar shot, and you've lobbed off half of SAR. Now the question is, SAR moving around. Oh, you cut off! You cut off a huge portion of it!
Ooh.
Half of SAR is melted!
Oh,
The remaining mines are the only things left that could save this ship. And once again, the power of Reds. Another terrifying sweep. Stiletto itself is
oh.
relatively unscathed, as SAR is trying to hide in a minefield, desperately trying to regrow its main armament. Stiletto coming
I
in
don't know.
from
Those
the
mines
arena
stick
border,
around a while.
circling its prey like a shark.
Oh, he's going too fast. He's just playing with his food.
It doesn't matter unless SAR gets a kill or deals a significant amount of damage. You're gonna win on points.
Yeah, well, Stiletto going straight into the minefield. Well, no, never mind, never mind.
Oh, it might just yet.
Uh-oh.
Ah,
He's deciding to
ah.
make bad decisions.
One bad
And
decision
sorry.
away. One bad decision away. SAR was almost defeated. And moving on to Red versus Red Violence. Cromular versus Stiletto.
We love violence. We love violence.
Ah, cut in half.
And,
Moving on to round two. Same result, although this time you took considerably more damage on the sides.
yeah. Oh, that point defense suite was completely sure enough.
Alright, now you're gonna need that point defense up against Drom. Ooh, cut in half. Still a
Rom isn't
huge
fast
amount
enough.
of red fire. Ah, and with the second shot, you kill a surprisingly high-ranked ship. And then moving
It was
into our
lucky it was lined
second
up like
round.
that because we've all seen Stiletto's maneuverability here.
Yeah, but you were able to sever Drom into two pieces for that final round.
Quite cleanly too. That is nice chopsticks right there.
Um, Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and at this point do a real quick audit to make sure our points are on point. Making sure everything has its lethality all set up. I've noticed you've made a
All
change
right.
or two here, Joyous. So,
Nope.
um,
The only thing I think you should take a look at is the most recent challenged kills in Star. That was just against Stiletto. I don't think any of the previous ones have been recorded.
Mons, you had Hopeless Inspiration. Um, One against Black Arrow and Gutter Guard, which is inaccurate. Oh, it's not that they're inaccurate right now, Mons. That's just Debris was going with whatever spot was open at the time. Uh, so if you want, I can edit that a little more. Other than that, it does seem like everything is good. Yeah. And Noyat is in the number 1 spot twice. I'm not quite sure. Oh, yeah. It's just a visual thing. Functionally, I don't think it's as big of a deal. The way that this calculates things, it shouldn't matter the where a specific thing is, so long as it's in the right column. But I'll go ahead and review this and make it look prettier afterwards. With that, I'm going to start us on Warsaber's lineup, which Warsaber is going after Tsar, which is one of those ships that if you kill it, you're going to get a huge amount of glory, followed by Bill, which, while it has been underperforming, should not be underestimated. We have Subutai, which has proven to be a very lethal and fast ship, and Plague of the Gods. You ready to start this, Joyous?
Oh yeah, let's see. Let's see.
All right, starting us off. That's MGW versus Bill. Why is that the case? I forgot to put I forgot to put Saber in there. All right. Starting us off, we immediately have that familiar bolt of Tinkral Fire, followed by the laser, as I've termed it, staying just out of range of MGW, and staying suitably out of the minefield for now. Oh, it's getting really close.
Uh-oh.
Tinkral shields are able to
Don't do that.
save it from the worst of the fire. It's very accurate. It's cutting into MGW. Seems like these little arena bounces are giving it just the edge it needs. It's almost cut MGW in half, ignoring most of that stacked armor in the front. It's digging into the stacked armor now for the mines. It's dealt a considerable swath of damage. And it's just fast enough to just outpace MGW. We might be able to see Tsar be taken down, as even the stacked armor is beginning to yield and its core is gone.
Well, well, well.
How the turntables. This little Tinkrel is doing, honestly, really well. I like watching it fight. It's fun. And moving into
Yeah.
round 2, so far we're seeing that familiar kiting on the arena border, MGW getting close, plasma mortars firing just nearby. But it looks like the ship's able to break free. Half of MGW's cut off. MGW is not moving so quickly this time. Looks like Eurasia is carefully and methodically tearing into this ship with sustained Tinkral fire, something that is very rare to see. And just slowly melting it with this laser beam of death.
And it's really nice that
Go ahead.
the saber is staying in range, because usually in sustained fire Tinkrels, they just kind of sit right outside of their effective range, and they can't be very good.
Yeah, but this ship, I think that main gun is making it behave very well and stay just within firing range. It cut MGW in half this time. All MGW's got left are those mines, and this Tinkrel outranges those mines considerably. Oh, but not if it charges in like that.
Uh-oh.
Huge
Don't
amounts
do
of
that.
mines. But
Point
it escaped.
defense. Oh, yo.
The gun has been snubbed, though. It might come in closer for further engagements. MGW trying to charge it.
Using his own body parts as a shield.
Turning into a spinner.
Flinging mines everywhere.
Mines are flying,
Well,
but
well, well.
13 seconds left on the clock. Very accurate Tinkrel fire, still dealing damage. The mines are approaching slow enough. It looks like the point defense is enough, and that's it. Tsar has been killed.
And the last cowardly resort did not work.
Yeah. It
Good first
does
match for
seem
safe.
like for match log purposes that was just barely a win on points.
Oh, interesting. All right.
But I might be wrong. That was very close.
All right, Bill, let's see it, Bill. This is a Tinkerol, your intended target. Oh, pummeling. Oh no! Ah!
Ooh, lots of very devastating fire from Warward Saber.
Whoa! Bill takes another one.
Bill takes a
Billy Bear Eagle.
kill. Warward Saber not choosing to fire until it sees the whites of its enemy's eyes. Firing point blank into Bill.
Oh,
Ah,
oh! All the armor detached. Oof! But Bill cleans it up. That's Bill for you.
Bill against a Tinkerel. It was interesting. Oh, and stacked armor saving the day for Warward for Subutai. The
Oh
Tinkerel
my
almost
lord!
making through the
Oh
stacked armor
my
despite
goodness!
it.
In his maw, just devoured.
Ah, that stacked armor doing its job. Moving into round two, up against another very, very fast ship, cutting a significant chunk out, turning, maneuvering as Subutai angles itself for another charge. Circling. Tinkrel fire cutting off another swath of Subutai. Still, that stacked armor remains between Warward Saber and the core. And all it takes is one good charge, and this could all be over. Several well-placed shots. Another bolt of Tinkrel fire, followed by a lasering. Ah, this ship's
Uh-oh.
so accurate, and uh-oh. That was a kill. That was a kill because it looks like there was some armor that must have been stacked, and when it got detached in a weird angle, it looks like that killed the core. Or did the Tinkerel actually manage to make it all the way through?
Chat,
Close.
anyone watching the timer? Who
Moving
was
on.
Saber built by the way?
What's up?
Who was Saber built by?
Saber was built by Pyramid Boy.
Pyramid Boy.
Yeah, and
I think Pyramid Boy submitted to some tournaments before.
yeah, one of
Or maybe I've
yours
just seen him a
actually. I
lot in the
think this
modern
is their second. They have a beautiful ship. This time it looks like the gun's been snubbed on the Tinkerel, putting it dangerously close to
Uh-oh, uh-oh.
Subutai.
You don't want to be there.
It's not able and it runs into an HM1. Subutai takes it, but there was some doubt there. That was close. And now finally against Plague of the Gods, another farmer submission that uses HM1s. Oh,
Uh-oh, uh-oh,
the gun
uh-oh.
has not been completely destroyed. Large amounts of
Who's
Tinkerel
the plan?
fire slowly melting away Plague of the Gods. Ah, the missile's getting close, but it was cored and destroyed. Warward Saber takes a kill. That fire is just off point, but it was able to escape the first time. Might not be so lucky a second. And the Tinkerel, getting so close to the core. Joyous, you have done a lot of farmer submissions. What's it like?
Hexagons, they they're really quite weak. Uh that's all I'll say. They have pretty terrible mass to HP efficiency. I try to use armor as much as possible, and I do find that armor makes prettier looking ships, but well, just barely from the hexagon arrangement. I think I've made some pretty good hexagon ships, but they are just so squishy. Oh, and the thrusters are gone.
Ah. And Warward Saber takes 2 kills in its final match, finishing on a very strong note. All right. And for now, some matches that I had to help make based on people's preferences. We have Cromular up against Hopeless Inspiration, uh, Plague of the Gods, Noyat, and Saber. So I've got Cromular versus Hopeless Inspiration, Plague of the Gods, Noyat, and War Saber. And that is going to start us off. It looks like Mons is gonna have a tough time with this one. There's a lot of point defense on this ship.
Oh yeah, and I believe red point defense is the fastest turning point defense in the game, so
High
not gonna have
tracking.
any issues there.
It looks like it's getting very close to Mons. Mons cannot afford to get hit by those Tempests. If
It's
this
really just a battle of attrition here. Mons only needs one torpedo, but Cromulor will win on points if he doesn't get that hit.
Yeah. Cromular is a very aggressive ship. It's charging in and it's destroying everything launchable related in its path. It hasn't been hit.
Oh, really? I thought it was like a little faster than all the rest. Let me check this real quick. I want to see. 20 radian.
Wow. All right. 40 seconds left on the clock. And it doesn't look like even a single hit can be had by Mons. This is gonna go to points. It's going 20 seconds left. And despite multiple salvos being fired, it doesn't look like Mons can quite pull it off. 10 seconds. And that's it. Round 1 goes to
Well, well.
Cromular. Moving on to
Oh,
round
you're
2.
right. It is. Yeah, the red point defense is not faster. I could have sworn something was faster. I don't know. No, I just checked. It was the same. It was the same.
Well, it looks like in round 2, Cromular even got a few hits off on Mons, but Mons seems to have gotten a few hits back. It's 37 KP versus 38. A few blows were traded, but it
Oh,
looks like we're going to
this
settle
one.
in for the long haul for the next minute. Unless Mons is able to get a hit off, which the ships are getting very close to one another. It might happen. Ooh, the torpedoes were shot down. The only chance that Mons has is if Mons can just overwhelm this obscene amount of point defense. I think almost every weapon is set to it, or a large chunk of them are. There are a lot of anti-missile lasers that are just shooting down everything that comes close. Mons throwing torpedoes in at point-blank range. But it's not enough. It's just not enough. Cromular remains relatively unscathed. 20 seconds left on the clock. I don't think Mons is going to be able to do it. Oh, within fighting range. The Tempests are
Whoa.
online. Ah, so close. Mons is unable to quite pull it out, and Cromular wins its first matchup. Next up is Plague of the Gods by Daz. Huge amount of projectiles once again. Those shotguns, though, starting to do work. And it's over. Round 2. Huge amount of projectiles once again. The shotguns blasting away. The Tempest firing, but not enough.
Whoa, whoa.
You recording all of this, Joyce?
Yep.
All right. Next up is my ship, which I'm very worried. I have a lot of drones, but I'm not sure I can pull that off.
Ooh, uh-oh. Yeah, that AI trigger is really gonna get you here because all you have is drones and Romular's got that point defense.
Yep. If my AI trigger works properly, I should be able to get at least some points back through my Doom Beams, but we'll see how it goes. I don't think any of my other weapons are going to be able to make it, though. Looks like I'm standing off just outside of effective range for those Doom Beams. I wonder why my ship does that. I wonder why it likes to stay just outside of the Doom Beam's range most of the time. Yeah, it looks like I've done some scratch damage to it in places, but it's got a lot of point defense and is very well placed. 50 seconds left on the clock, and I am down on points.
Oh, looks
Oh.
like you really gotta get in there, Kaboom. Show him who's boss.
Ooh, I clipped it with what looks to be shards, but it's not enough. Points lead is still in favor of Cromular. If I can get one really good shot off with anything, it'll be going in my favor, but it doesn't look like that's happening this round. Up, circling.
7
Looks like
seconds left.
just outside. Ah. And Cromular takes it on round 1. Immediately I come in for round 2. Get my AI trigger popped. And it just doesn't look like I'm going to quite be able to make it. Because once again, I think we're going to see more of the same. My AI trigger's just going to pop because of those Tempests, and then I'm going to get out of there before I can use Doom Beams or be able to use my shards to a greater effect.
I think one of the reasons is ooh. Uh-oh. Whoa.
Did he hit?
Slight uh-oh. That's not good. Yeah, I think it was just like if you had spec a little more into I think either like offensive capabilities instead of speed, backwards thrust, I think being a skirmisher would benefit more because right now I think the skirmishing part would only be useful in the team stage where you can kind of distract the enemies while your teammates. Ooh, whoa, what was that?
That was a
Because right
very
now I
good
don't
shard
think
hit.
yeah.
And another one. Oh, that was brutal.
Whoa, this might go the other way.
This time, yeah, it very well might, because I don't think my ship is going to take enough damage to go down to 2k points. It looks like by rebounding into the border, the shards are able to really kick it off, and that core is dangerously exposed. I'm coming in at just
Well,
the
I
right
stand
angle, but I'm
corrected.
deciding to turn at a weird angle. That's okay. Oof. 24 points. Cromular might actually take it back. 24k with 3 seconds left on the clock. I don't think I got this. And Cromular takes it despite taking heavy damage.
Yeah. It's
All
the
right.
skirmisher.
Oh, this is nerve-wracking. This is
Oh,
nerve-wracking.
saber aim. There we go. He's a little
Oh,
bit. He's not. He's not.
Cromular!
Oh. Yay!
Ooh. All right, moving on to the second round. Once again, Cromular's getting in there. Oh, but Saber got it first.
Whew.
Oh, these are very, very lethal matches. Ooh, Cromular getting vaporized to begin with. Ah, and Saber
Oh.
takes it. All right. That is going to bring us to our second to last, which is Subutai. Subutai wants to fight Gutter Guard, and then the rest of these I had to fill in. I filled in for DRL Battlecruiser, Stiletto, and Cromular.
This will be a pretty high DPS matchup here.
Oh yeah,
All of these ships have quite a lot of power.
last time we saw Doom Beams versus these cannons, it was very close. Oh, Subutai
Uh-oh,
barely
uh-oh,
taking it.
uh-oh. Oh! Yeah.
That B hull just isn't quite enough. Meanwhile, our
It's
farmer...
stronger than Farmer, though, I'll say that.
That's true. But it does look like we're getting some AI derp here. Potentially, nope, we're not. Yep, we are. We are. It looks like Duke is just not quite able to be within range. It looks like those
Be
shards are
within
actually...
range.
Dude, B, you're right. It looks like the main armament of Subutai, those Bolsheviks, are being taken out by the shards. But not quite enough in time. Subutai wins again against Duke Slayer's submission. Subutai now coming in up against Battlecruiser, dealing a large amount of damage. Those splash hits don't care about that stacked armor, so that farmer's got to watch out for that antimatter. Ooh, the stacked armor's taking damage. It looks like
Battlecruiser is regenerating.
It looks like the main armament is down. Subutai's in dire straits. And it's over. Round 1 goes to Battlecruiser.
Thank you, Dal. I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name. Dal Riley.
Dal. I'm just going with Dal.
DRL. Alright.
And next up, we once again see a huge amount of damage being dealt, and it's immediately over. Subutai comes back with a vengeance.
He was quite upset he lost.
Yeah. Let's see what'll happen in round 3. So far, the antimatter's off point, and that's what can take out that stacked armor, but the stacked armor is damaged significantly. The antimatter's down, and it's over. Subutai takes it home. Very killy ship, this. Let's see how it's going to handle these two reds up against it.
Well, stacked armor against red is quite effective.
It is. That was quite effective. All right. Moving on to round 2. Very quick matches we've got here. Ooh, huge amounts of damage, and Stiletto is able to take it home just barely by avoiding the stacked armor. Moving to our third and final round, who's going to take it home? And Subutai just
as always.
barely. Yeah, coin flip is the word. Subutai just killing stuff. If it gets a Warlord spot, it deserves it. It has been fighting hard for this. Huge amount of reds. fire coming from all directions, able to avoid the stacked armor, but Subutai just barely takes it. How is this thing alive? By the skin of its teeth, it won. Moving into round 2.
Is it still alive? I don't think so.
No, it was. It was still thrusting. And again, even though the Reds are able to get very, very far, they don't quite reach that core. And that is it for Subutai. Very quick matches, all of them. All right. And with kills every time, it's going to be ranked pretty highly for that. Last but certainly not least, we have Mini Munin. And Yenyu's going to be fighting Cranked, a very highly rated competitor. Hopeless Inspiration, Chromular, and Warsaber. Where did I put it? There it is. You think Munin's going to be able to do it? Like, it does have those burst capabilities. It does have the Goss. Oof. It looks like only one gun is operational after that first Goss hit. You still there, Joyous?
Yep. This is I don't know. I don't think the Tinkle will be able to get through the Sentinel armor here.
Yeah.
The
Sentinel
Munin
is...
is fighting for some reason. It is odd.
Munin is a very skittish ship, but it is leading the points battle right now. It definitely could just go ahead and kill Cranked, if it so chose. Cranked is severely wounded, especially after that first kind of blow of Goss. But Cranked is regenerating. I'm not sure if it'll regen its second gun in time, but it may regenerate that other shield to help try and prevent further points loss should it take another Goss hit. Munin can't afford to keep getting hit. And it looks like with about 20 seconds left on the clock, looks like Cranked is slowly getting its second gun back online and is hitting Munin. It's less than a 10k points difference, but I don't think it'll make it in 10 seconds.
Come on, one good burst. One good burst. Let's see us end.
And Mini Munin takes it on points. The first battle. Moving next, we once again see, oh, Mini Munin just with devastating fire kills Cranked. I think it tore it in 2.
Blast.
Yeah, just blasted away. Another small ship. This does not look good for Hopeless Dearth. Hopeless Dearth coming in with a lot of projectiles. Hopefully that'll keep Munin at a nice, safe, very far away distance. If those torpedoes hit, Munin's gonna have a very bad time. But if Munin gets in range with its Goss just like that...
Zap.
Big zaps. Taking off large parts of that side armor. Munin seems to be very aggressive now. It did get hit by something. It's moving in. Another Goss shot. Looks like it took out a torpedo launcher. The points are anyone's game. Munin charging up and in. Strafing too far to one side, not getting off that Goss. Oh, and torpedoes landed!
Yikes. That's a game changer right there.
The points lead is now very much in favor of Hopeless Inspiration, and there's considerable damage to that side armor. If Munin continues to take hits from anything on that side, it's gonna not end well. All Munin needs to do is get a Gauss hit. It could cut this thing clean in two. Some of its armor's regened, but 30 seconds remain and it needs those points. Munin looks like it's trying to regen in the relative safety, but it doesn't have the time.
Nor the point defense. This is not safe at all.
I don't think this is safe for either ship, to be completely honest.
Come on, Munin. Just charge in. You got 5 seconds.
It's not going to make it. And the first round goes to Inspiration on points. Moving to our second match, Munin once again charging in. Dodging hundreds of missiles probably over the course of this match, but all it needs is one good hit. Either side. Some Gauss was discharged on Hopeless Dearth, but it doesn't seem to have done more than cosmetic damage. Once again, another shot dealt.
Yeah, this Terran armor is quite a lot more durable than Tinker's shields.
That's true, but slowly parts of Dearth are getting torn off, just as Munin is slowly getting whittled away by these projectiles. This is a very even fight. Munin is engaging its dodging AI and is just not quite able to close the distance.
All he's got to do is dodge some missiles, dodge some torpedoes.
Mini Munin with 30 seconds left seems to be in a perpetually dodging loop. Something's got to break the stalemate. Mini Munin is winning on points. But it can't take hits for long. 15, 14. Time's running out to get a kill. Neither side has a particularly good edge. Munin down under 1,000 points in the last 5 seconds.
Not a good place to...
Yeah, under 31,000. And that's it. Hopeless Dearth takes it by the skin of its teeth.
Yet another skirmisher throwing a match.
True. Oh boy. Munin keeping at a distance with Cromular. There is no way those flurry missiles make it anywhere close to the ship. Gauss was fired, taking a little nibble. This slow ship is just ever so slightly getting closer to Munin. Oh, Munin's up against the arena border. That was a lot of damage. Or was it? No, that was nothing at all. Munin, okay. Munin casually tanking the power of Reds. Munin with 37, Cromular with 32, 1,000 points each. Munin is in the lead with 1 minute going. Looks like Cromular has taken damage from several different angles, and Munin is seemingly unscathed. It is smoking in several areas. It got some Gauss hits off, but retreats immediately after. It's a very skittish ship, and the arena border is not its friend in this match. But it is slowly but surely whittling away at Cromular. With 30 seconds remaining, the core is almost exposed.
Time to go. You ready to go, man? All right. It seems my flight has arrived. Goodbye, chat.
Goodbye, Joyous. Mini Munin wins barely on points versus Cromular. And it looks like coming into round 2. Yep, it looks like more of the same. Yeah, hopeless. Alright. Looks like, again, Munin is just kind of taking little nibbles. Cautious nibbles out of Cromular. It seems very intimidated by that amount of red firepower, and honestly, I don't blame it. Cromular just moving ever so slightly this way and that. If it can trap Munin on the arena border, it could end very poorly for Munin. 1 minute left, and the design of this ship is keeping it surprisingly intact versus this withering fire of Gauss lasers. Like, Gauss beams are a very scary weapon for Reds. Ah! And just barely killed. So I'm gonna have to go mark that down. And that's going to bring us to our last match with Mini Munin and our last match for the challenging. Oof, Gauss beams doing awful things. Instant kill. Almost instant. And then coming into our second round, Munin's right there and just point blank with the Gauss beams. Alright. Now with that, we have finished the challenging, everyone. How are we feeling? Alright. Yeah, I do think that was fun, and I'm going to double check these numbers, but right now it does appear that we have our lethality scores in. I'm going to go ahead and just go over this. Black Arrow, or Hopeless Inspiration, lost to Black Arrow and Gutter Guard. Yeah, okay. I'm going to need to mark these down. I'm going to go ahead and probably have our after party, and then I'm going to go ahead and mark down the scores and ping everyone that made it based off of the glory they gained. And remember, you get glory by killing ships with high lethality. And so far, the ships with the most lethality look to be Cranked with 20, Subutai with 28, Hopeless Inspiration with 16, Gutter Guard with 16, Mini Munin with a respectable 17, War Saber with 17, Sar and Black Arrow with 15, My Ship Noyat with 16, Bill with 12, Stiletto with 12, Cromular with 10, Plague of Gods with 6, and DRL with 2. That said, I am going to go ahead and finish writing the schedule bit here. I'm probably going to do that after stream. Yep, Mons, you can absolutely fight Bill. I'm going to, at this point,